It's 1 kilometer tall, and it's coming for the Burj Khalifa. The Jeddah Tower is set to become the tallest building on Earth, rising out of the Saudi desert with plans that defy logic and gravity. Delayed, doubted, and now back on track. This is more than a skyscraper. It's a global statement. Here's what we know so far about the $20 billion mega project that could change the skyline and the record books forever. Chapter 1. The Resurrection of a Giant. The story of Jeddah Tower reads like a construction thriller. After years of delays, financial hurdles, and a global pandemic that brought the entire project to a grinding halt, construction work resumed in January 2025. This wasn't just any ordinary restart. This was the revival of mankind's most audacious architectural dream. Picture this. As of now, the project stands at 76% completion, with significant progress made on the tower's structure. When you look at the latest construction footage, you can see construction reaching its 69th level, and the pace is absolutely relentless. The teams are working around the clock, driven by Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program that's transforming the entire kingdom into a global powerhouse. Construction halted between 2018 and 2025 due to issues with the contractor and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. But now the project has returned with unprecedented momentum. The developers aren't just building a skyscraper, they're constructing a statement that will be visible from space and will fundamentally change how we think about urban development in the 21st century. Chapter 2. Engineering the Impossible. Let's talk about what it actually takes to build something this insane. The three-legged plan, inspired by the folded fronds of a sprouting desert plant, presents a continuously tapering vertical profile that isn't just aesthetically stunning, it's an engineering masterpiece designed to handle the brutal physics of extreme height. The tower's foundation is an impressive feat, requiring more than 270 piles driven 105 meters, 344 feet into the ground to support the massive weight. Think about that for a moment. Before they could even start building up, they had to dig down deeper than a 30-story building is tall, creating an underground fortress capable of anchoring this beast against the forces of nature. The project demands about 500,000 cubic meters of concrete and 80,000 tons of steel, material quantities that dwarf most construction projects globally. To put this in perspective, that's enough concrete to build 15 Empire State Buildings and enough steel to construct 2 Golden Gate Bridges. The logistics alone are mind-boggling. Every single day, hundreds of trucks are delivering materials to a site that operates like a small city. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. The relationship yielded an elegant design that handles high wind without sacrificing style. At 1 kilometer high, wind forces become absolutely devastating. The engineering team had to develop entirely new solutions for wind resistance, creating a shape that actually uses aerodynamics to its advantage rather than fighting against the elements. Stick around until the end to discover the mind-blowing feature that will literally project 30 meters into thin air at 600 meters above the ground, something no building has ever attempted before. Chapter 3. Breaking every rule in the book. Although the exact height and number of floors will be confirmed upon completion, the firm told Newsweek that the tower will have more than 130 floors and rise beyond 3,281 feet. Let that sink in for a second. 130 floors. The elevator systems alone required completely revolutionary technology. Traditional elevator cables would snap under their own weight at this height, so the engineers developed entirely new magnetic levitation systems that can transport people smoothly from ground level to the clouds in under 60 seconds. Jeddah Tower's exterior will feature a high-performance glass facade designed to reduce energy consumption by withstanding the intense desert heat. This isn't ordinary glass. Each panel is engineered to reflect infrared radiation while maintaining crystal-clear visibility, creating an optical illusion that makes the building seem to shimmer and dance in the desert sun. The energy savings are astronomical. The building will actually consume less energy per square foot than most conventional skyscrapers, despite being in one of the harshest climates on Earth. The Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia will span over 1,000 meters in height and 1.5 square kilometers in its first phase of growth. Notice that phrase, first phase of growth. This isn't just a building, it's the foundation for an entire vertical city that could house hundreds of thousands of people in the sky. The master plan calls for multiple phases that will create a three-dimensional urban environment unlike anything humanity has ever experienced. Chapter 4. Living in the Clouds. It will include a hotel, offices, residences, and a sky terrace. But the real magic happens when you understand the scale of what's being created. The tower will have a commercial and residential place, occupying 57 million feet, featuring homes, hotels, and offices. 57 million square feet, that's larger than some entire cities. Imagine waking up in your apartment on the 81st floor and looking down at commercial jets flying beneath your balcony. The residential sections will feature apartments with floor-to-ceiling windows offering 360-degree views that stretch from the Red Sea to the endless Saudi desert. On clear days, residents will be able to see the curvature of the Earth itself. The hotel component will redefine luxury hospitality. Guests will literally sleep in the clouds, with some suites positioned so high that they'll experience different weather patterns than the ground level. The Sky Terrace will create an outdoor space nearly 2/3 of the way to space, where the air is so thin that the atmospheric pressure requires special engineering considerations. Chapter 5. Racing Towards the Sky. The next major milestone is expected by June 2028, when the tower is scheduled for completion. That gives us less than 3 years to witness the completion of humanity's greatest architectural achievement. The construction timeline is absolutely brutal. They're adding multiple floors per week, working in shifts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The competition with Dubai's Burj Khalifa isn't just about height. It's about proving that Saudi Arabia can engineer solutions that the rest of the world considered impossible. When finished, the tower will rise over 1,000 meters, making it the tallest building in the world, surpassing the Burj Khalifa by nearly 180 meters. But those 180 meters represent far more than just additional height. They represent the difference between impressive engineering and absolute impossibility made real. Here's the jaw-dropping detail I promised. Another standout feature is expected to be a cantilevering steel balcony, measuring 30 meters in diameter, which will project out from one of the penthouses at a height of around 600 meters. 30 meters in diameter, projecting into space 600 meters above the ground. That's a platform the size of a football field, suspended in midair at twice the height of the Eiffel Tower, with nothing but engineering brilliance holding it up. Standing on that balcony will be like standing on the wing of an airplane, except the airplane never moves, and you can stay there as long as you want, watching the world rotate beneath your feet. This isn't just construction. This is humanity literally reaching for the stars, 1 meter at a time. When Jeddah Tower is complete, it won't just be the world's tallest building. It will be proof that human ambition has no ceiling, that engineering can overcome any obstacle, and that sometimes the impossible is just another word for what nobody has built yet. If you found this project as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more groundbreaking designs. And if you're curious about what the future of mega projects looks like, click right here to watch our video on Saudi Arabia's $500 billion ski resort, Trojena. See you in the future.